Hello guys, welcome back to the Free Hammers podcast live. It's me and Paul this week, and we're going to be going through everything West Ham related and any news that we like to cover through sports. If you've got any questions throughout the show, put them in the live chat and we'll try our best to answer them. If you've not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like our content, and please share with your friends. Let's get on with it. It's the Free Hammers and it's live. Yeah.
My most famous videos on this channel is the Southampton video from a few years ago, where it's the biggest sigh in the world. I go, there's no words, mate. There's no words to describe how I feel, how disconnected I feel as a West Ham fan at the moment, how embarrassed I feel to be a West Ham fan at the moment. I'm going to put this picture up. We'll discuss it a little bit more later, mate, because obviously we'll talk about the games. But honestly, mate, that is the last time I feel connected as a West Ham fan. Probably the last 4 years. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later. How's it going, mate? Haircuts can happen. There's a positive we'll start with.
Yeah, not long, mate. Just, what is it, next week?
Yeah, 4th of July.
We need it, obviously, yeah. No, things are good, mate. Do you know, things that were going so good, and then even when the football came back and it was like, you know, the Bundesliga and that, it was fine, and then they decided to start showing West Ham games again. And then we're depressed. I thought bringing football back was supposed to lift everyone's spirits.
Yeah, it certainly ain't
miserable.
lifting my spirit, mate. It certainly ain't lifting my spirit.
I mean,
and I think, mate, I think you was of the mindset as well, you know. I always feared if the season was brought back, Sam going down. That was why I was so for voiding it. It was selfish. I wanted it to be voided, though I knew West Ham would definitely stay out. Now, no, it's just showing everything I feared. Mentality, an inept manager, a lot of inept players that are just strolling around and probably have got deals lined up anyway. Depressing, mate. Depressing.
Yeah. You know, there's arguments to be made last night, obviously, that, you know, their goal shouldn't have stood. It shouldn't have stood, obviously. You know, it was handball. It should have been ruled out. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We weren't going to win that game anyway. You know, yeah, that goal shouldn't have counted, but they could have scored 5 goals before that. Do you know what I mean? It was just so bad. I mean, where do you start? You know, the Fabianski didn't really made the saves he needed to make. You've got Fredericks and Cresswell, who are not good enough. They're not
Fredericks
good enough.
Shocking. Fredericks
They're
is
not
shocking, mate.
Premier League standard players. When you've got Mourinho coming out after the game, blatantly saying we targeted their left back because he's the weak link in their team, I think that's a bit unfair on Cresswell. I think we've got a lot of weak links in our team, but the fullbacks are not good enough. Diop and Balbuena, I actually thought were okay, apart from letting Kane through at the end.
You've got to say the first half, mate. Okay, I was reasonably happy after the first half. You can't deny that. That's when you want. I've seen a lot of people say that is when you want half time David to go, okay, done what we needed to do, 45 minutes. Go for it now. Do something. Yeah. Let's try and win it.
You know, when you've got so many subs available and he's just not using them. He used 2 subs last night, which is crazy. Some of the players could barely walk. Noble was on the pitch for far too long. Noble should have come off at half time. I wouldn't have even started him. Passenger didn't really do anything. Fornals was playing left wing back to cover Cresswell. Absolutely ridiculous. What a waste. You know, let's play Fornals and play left wing back.
It's that you probably heard the commentator say it, mate. Like Sergio Aurelio, one point, Sergio Aurelio was playing right wing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to fear Fornals' pace. And one thing that did come out good yesterday, Fornals got the first booking for me. A little tip from Gio from Hammers Chat. Got me 70 quid. But he could see it himself, you know. Like, he was always going to beat Fornals for pace. So, it's just, I don't know, mate. Like I say, you carry on going through your team.
Yeah. You know, poor, the one obviously huge positive, Declan Rice,
It's the
fantastic.
bye-bye show, isn't it? It is.
That's it. Declan, obviously, he's gone. And do you know what? And I've seen so many West Ham fans saying this. I hope he goes. I hope he goes.
I've got nothing against the geezer
because he deserves better. He deserves better than to be playing for West Ham. He really does. He's going to leave and he's going to go on to be absolutely world class.
It reminds me of a little bit, but obviously the players are not as good. It reminds me, that year we went down 2003, how good Joe Cole was that year when he was like captain and he was trying to drag us out of it by himself before Paolo come back. The shadows of that a little bit. Yeah. Like, this guy don't deserve this. He doesn't deserve this. And he gets West Ham. He loves the fans and he's doing it the right way. Like I say, mate, it's unfortunate. It's the end. Enjoy the last 8 games of him. 7
Souček,
now, isn't it?
7 games, mate. Yeah. Souček, I actually thought was all right, apart from obviously the own goal. Couldn't really get his feet sorted. It's hard to blame him too much for that, in my opinion. There's not really a lot he could have done about it. But apart from that, I think he had a decent enough game. Bowen, really good, lively.
Bowen was excellent.
He is our most dangerous player. He's the only one who looks like doing anything at the minute. The only one who looks like making anything happen. And then Antonio up front. And obviously, Antonio's not a striker. He worked hard. I'll give him that. He worked really hard. But if you're putting Mikel Antonio up against 3 defenders, what do you expect him to do? And then obviously, because he's just getting pushed around by 3 defenders, chasing every ball. I mean, our game plan at the minute seems to be give it to one of the wing backs, give it to someone and just punt it.
And see what he gets it. Yeah, hopes that he gets it. Yeah.
And because of that, and because he's so isolated and because he's having to work so hard, by 60 minutes, he's done.
Yeah,
he's done. And then still, Moyes don't make the change. He leaves him on the pitch. I mean, I don't understand. If he thinks the players on the bench ain't good enough, why are they on the bench? Why is Albion Ajeti on the bench? How bad must he be if he can't even get on in that situation?
Sande Silva, Wilshere.
Sande Silva. If they're not good enough, why are they on the bench?
Yarmolenko.
Yeah, exactly. If it was me and people say, what was he supposed to do? Like, he could have played Yarmolenko up front and he could have... Mikel Antonio, I was saying this to one of my mates during the game. Mikel Antonio, his strength is picking the ball up and just running in a straight line, just charging. Basically the same. Obviously, he's not the same level, but basically the same as what Traore did to us in the Wolves game. Picking the ball up and just running, just powering through. That's where Antonio's best at. He's not going to do that up front with his back to goal on his own.
Put him back. Position is right wing.
Yeah, put him back on the wing. Play Ajeti up front. Play Silva up front. Play Yarmolenko up front. I don't get it. I don't understand why is Noble still playing when he's clearly done. His legs are gone. Play Wilshere. What's the point in having Jack back saying he's fit now if you're not even going to give him game time?
And as well, a good point that was made by TalkSport. Keeping on players, failing him. Henderson, I've defended him. He's terrible. I'm sorry.
He's gone, mate. He's gone.
He don't want to be there. You could
see clear, 100% clear as you like. Anderson last night, that was either a complete middle finger to Moyes, either he just doesn't like Moyes, but he's done. He's clearly didn't want to be on the pitch. He didn't want to come on. When he did come on, he just strolled around. He still nearly got an assist when Bowen hit the post.
It was a point I think where he did a step over, got robbed from him. He just sort of went like that. I'm not running back.
Yeah, he's completely switched off. He's done. He's out the door. He's already gone.
And the player, like he hasn't recovered from the injury.
I think he hasn't recovered from the injury, but I think he looked all right when he came on. He was trying to get the ball forward. He was linking up decently. It's just shambles,
mate. With the subs and stuff, like you say, you need a goal. What are you doing? What's he doing? What are you doing? Like,
well, you had it.
Goal. You've got 3 extra subs.
Yeah, and against Wolves, we go a goal down, and he brings off
Fredericks.
He brings on Fredericks. What's the point? Yeah. What is the point? Even in that game, still talking about Felipe Anderson. Even in the Wolves game, I don't know if you see when he came off for Lanzini, he was laughing. Like Felipe Anderson walked off the pitch, proper laughing. Like he's completely done. And if that's his attitude now, I don't ever want to see him play for West Ham again.
I agree, mate. I agree. These are not the sort of people if we are going to get out of it, which I don't think we are going to. These are not the sort of players we need in our team.
No, in my opinion as well, Allaire, I don't think he's injured. I think he's refusing to play. I think he's.
We'll find out a little bit more tonight on X's podcast. I think you'll find out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think he's had enough. Obviously, he's wanted out for a long time, Allaire. And again, I know we talk about the attitude of the players and how they should be fighting for the shirt and everything. But again, Allaire's only come in this season. He's got no affinity whatsoever for West Ham. And we've said this before, mate. We said this during the season, during January. If I was Sebastian Allaire, I'd want to leave as well.
Gotcha.
I would be thinking, what have I done? Like, this was a real promising striker in Europe. One of the names coming through in Europe. Comes to West Ham, we have ruined his career.
He was probably, if he would have gone to the right club, he would belong for the Euros team. But now he's probably thanking his lucky stars that the Euros has been delayed for a year. So, like you say, mate, he can get a move, resurrect his career.
So, in my opinion, he's gone. And again, don't blame him whatsoever if he wants to leave. And even in the interview, in Moyes' interview after the game last night, they asked him, they kept saying to him, "Oh, how much do you need Allaire back?" And he just completely avoided the question. To me, that says he's not going to play again. Or if he does, it's going to be like Felipe Anderson. He's not going to put any effort in. He's just going to walk around the pitch. Yeah,
through the motions. Obviously, Ngakia, mate, gone now. Gone. Wasn't in the team, wasn't even in the squad. It is Fredericks or Zabaleta now. Now there's a question I ask you, mate.
What does that say?
Zabaleta play the last 7 games?
I mean, what does that say about the state that the club is in at the minute? When you've literally got players like Felipe Anderson doesn't want to be here, just walking around a pitch laughing. You've got, like I say, Sebastian Allaire, my pure speculation, but in my opinion, I think he's refusing to play. He wants to leave. Declan Rice will more than likely go at the end of the season. Again, who can blame him?
I think as well, mate. I think if we stay up, I think Declan's gone.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the likes of young, promising players like Ngakia saying, "No, I'm not staying at this club." It's an absolute shambles, mate. Shambles, top to bottom. Obviously, we all know about the owners, and it's such a shame that we can't protest at the minute. Moyes is clueless. Moyes has done nothing. We've got worse. We've gone backwards since David Moyes has come in.
For the game, mate, I think you said it to me, mate. He had to win 3 games in a row. So he had to beat Tottenham, Chelsea and Newcastle just to equal Avram Grant's record. So he can't even equal Avram Grant now.
He is actually legitimately, statistically, one of the worst West Ham managers of all time. He's shocking.
It's only Zola at the minute, I think, isn't it? I think Zola just Zola.
And by the end of this season, it wouldn't surprise me if he is absolutely the worst, mate. He is clueless. He's got no game plan. Most of the players, you can tell, are not playing for him. They don't care. They've switched off. And I saw someone say this today as well. Again, I know, the players should be fighting and all the rest of it. But you imagine you're getting into work. We as fans, I'm sitting there thinking, what is Moyes doing? What is he doing? What's he trying to do? What's his game plan? What formation? What players is he playing? If we can see that, what do you think the players think? If you've got a boss who's a complete idiot, you would have the same attitude.
You take him for a ride, don't you? Do you know what I mean? It is, mate. The midfield is clearly weak area. You've got 3 players that are too similar: Rice, Noble, and Souček. You can't. Yeah. Those 3, if he continues to be stubborn playing those 3, we won't get out of it. We won't. There's no way we'll get out of it.
Why not play Rice and Souček and then play Lanzini or play Wilshere?
There's Noble playing number 10. Noble was playing number 10 yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, you've got Lanzini. Fornals can play there. Why are you playing Fornals on the wing? I'm on the ball. That's his whole role, his ball and movement.
And I actually don't think Fornals did too bad yesterday for what he was asked to do. Like I say,
he works hard. He works hard, to be fair.
Yeah, he had a chance that he fluffed, that he should have done better with. But for most of the game, he was being asked to play left back. I don't know, mate. And like you say, in my opinion, there's no doubt about it. Unless the only way that we stay up is if the 3 teams below us just lose every game.
Again, I'll be watching the games tonight and hoping for favours. You know, there's some massive games tonight for us. I think it's Newcastle Villa, I think, is tonight. So we need Newcastle to do us a favour. Is it Chelsea Bournemouth, I'm going to say, tonight? Or someone's playing Bournemouth tonight as well. We need favours, and it's ridiculous. With a team of our quality, I use that very loosely, you know, shouldn't be doing that. We've got no counter-attack either, mate. Our counter-attack is non-existent. There's no pace. And there's another thing, there's no fear factor. You know, there's no one, you know, you play the old Man Uniteds, the Roy Keanes, the Vieiras, who in that team, the team sheet come out, you think the opposition are going, ooh, don't fancy that today.
No.
Don't fancy him.
No one. And like you say, mate, the opposition defenders, the fullbacks, they know they can just push high up the pitch. We can't get in behind. We've got no, like you say, mate, we've got no pace. It's crazy. Against Wolves, all they did was sit players on Bowen because they knew that's all we had. They knew anything that was going to happen was going to come from him. So they just sat players on him. We had nothing. We've got one. I don't even know if we've got plan A, but if we have got a plan A, that's literally it. Moyes cannot change a game. He can't read a game. He's got no ideas. And I know, you know, I've already said, mate, I would sack him. I would have sacked him this morning because there's no point. What is the point in keeping him? There's no point. You could literally.
You may as well let another manager now. If you're in the mindset of we're going down, I've been slagged off a little bit on Twitter in terms of that because I did put a tweet out last night saying I personally would sack Moyes tonight, let Big Kev do it until the end of the season down anyway. Mm-hmm. It got 185 likes, so a lot of people did like it. Then there was a few people, I wouldn't want you in my battle if I was going in the trenches saying we're down already.
We are.
It's not a case of being negative. It's can't see a way out of it. I can't see how it changes. So I personally would put Kevin now. Give him a go. If it works out in the 7 games, we stay up. Amazing. If not, but he still looks good. You think, okay, maybe he's got the minerals to get us out of the Championship. If not, if we go down and it's still Moyes, we are done as a football team. We're done as a football team. You know, that's when I want to see him take a gamble on Parker, Iboya, or someone like that if we go down. But if David Moyes is there in September, start of the Championship, we are done.
No, I agree completely, mate. And the thing is if we keep Moyes, his record is shocking. It's abysmal. And he keeps saying, oh, you know, we've got more favourable games coming up. When you start having that kind of mindset, it puts so much pressure on those games. And games like last night, games against the teams that like Chelsea, you know, he'll do the same against Chelsea. He'll come out and he'll sit back and he'll try and keep it tight. We'll concede and we'll lose. Those are the games where you never know. If you'd have gone for it, you might have got something.
Look at Liverpool. Look at the Liverpool game. Listen, Moyes credit for that game, okay? So that was we lose that 3-2, was it? I think, game, or 2-1. We went for it. You know, and we come out going, do you know what? Liverpool were just better than us that day.
Mm-hmm. And we could have got something. And those are the games you could get something from. But by this mentality of we've got winnable games coming up, it puts so much pressure on those games. So much pressure. Switch forward off. You know, like, no, of course you can't.
1-2 games in a row. Not 1-2 games in a row.
Newcastle are going to be well up for it. They're pretty much safe. They're cruising.
Someone made a really good point about Norwich game. So, you know, you'd look at that and think, that's one we need to win. Norwich could be already relegated by then, which means they're in that no pressure mode. Mm-hmm. And they'll probably have a brilliant performance.
Mate, I genuinely, I think Norwich are going to smash us. Genuinely, I think Norwich are going to do us 3-0.
I wouldn't surprise me at all, mate.
Genuinely think that, mate.
Sorry to sound negative to anyone watching the chat, guys. I think Paul is with me. I don't think we'll win another game this season. I'm not saying we might not get a draw. I do not think we'll win a game this season.
Mate, I kept saying this last night, and it's again. So our mate Bowden was talking to him, and I said, not let alone win another game. I can't see us scoring another goal. I can't see where it's going to come from. And what he said to me was that the thing is that like putting bets on, put a bet on against not winning another game, put a bet again on losing every game. He said to me that should basically be throwing your money away. But the funny thing is they're actually decent bets. That's how bad we are.
You genuinely feel like there might be a chance.
Yeah, that's how bad they are.
How bad this sounds. This is going to sound really bad, but this is how much confidence I had when the season was restarted. So I've got currently a running bet. West Ham would lose their first 3 games. 2 down. Do you know what I mean? 1 to go. It was like a banker of money a minute. But I've got no confidence. So, so we've sort of half had your opinion, mate, on Moyes. Would you be one to have Nolan for the end of the season, or something that's been thrown out? I know you don't like the guy, mate, but would you take Sam Allardyce back for 7 games to keep us up?
No. I would take Sam back. I'll tell you why. Right. So first of all, as far as Nolan, 100%. Let him have the last 7 games. It literally can't be any worse than it is now. Why not? Why not? Let him have a go. Nolan is good motivator. He's good. He's someone who's up for a fight. 100%. Let Nolan have the last 7 games. It can't be any worse. Fat Sam, no. I've said many, many times, I don't want him anywhere near West Ham. I would never want to see him manage the club ever again. I can't stand the man. I can't stand the way he plays the game.
I think the fact that
exactly. If I'm Sam Allardyce and David Sullivan rings me up and says, Sam, I need you to come in last 7 games. I want you to save us. I'll pay you however much I'll pay you, and you'll get a £5 million bonus if you keep us up. If I was Allardyce, I would literally walk in. I would take the money. I wouldn't even care about the bonus. I'd just walk in, take the money, cruise through the next 7 games, and then leave. Yeah. What does he care? What does Allardyce care?
Yeah. There are rumours that he's come out and said he would never work for them again anyway.
No, exactly. And that's part of the reason why I say that. If he did come in, he would literally just take the money. I'm sure towards the end of his actual time with us, there were a lot of things coming out saying that he did basically that. He just stopped bothering doing anything. He was letting other people do the team talks. He was just sitting around because he didn't care. And it would be the same again. So no, but a lot of people keep saying that. Oh, bring Sam in. If Sam's the one who can save us, why? I don't see it. 100%. Let Nolan take it for the last 7 games. If we stay up, fantastic. We can try and get a decent manager. If we go down, you assess Nolan, maybe let him have a crack at it, or you bring somebody else in. But I see absolutely no reason whatsoever, no reason at all to stick with David Moyes. None. If you can sack the likes of Pellegrini after better form than what David Moyes has got now, if you can sack Avram Grant after better form and better football than David Moyes, why should he still be at this club? Why? Sack him.
Let's go into the chat a bit because it has kicked off a little bit, innit? Don't want to let it go too far. Hello, Luke and Paul. Any news on when Super Bobby Snodgrass will be fit?
Out for the season.
Yeah, I think Jamie Gill has answered that for you there, mate. Sounds like he's out for the season, and he is a big miss actually. Do you know what? He's not the best footballer at the club by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a bloody trier, and he's someone we could do with now. And it's that that quality of set piece and quality of pass. I just don't see any positives. It's really frustrating. Hi lads, we are Western Eustace. When we lose to Norwich, it will cement our place in the Championship. Be Barbara, sadly. Hello, gents. Antonio did 2 times 90 minutes. Criminal from Moyes, 2 strikers on the pitch. So he was blowing. Blown out of his backside after 60 minutes. All
this can happen is he'll just get injured.
He'll get injured, yeah. He'll be in real trouble. Real trouble. Vernon goes on to say, hate to say it, but we miss Arnie. Only reason we stayed up last week, fully agree, mate. Whether you like him or not as a personality, there's no denying that Marco was a fantastic footballer. Footballer. I
mean, obviously, again, talking about David Moyes, Moyes got so lucky with Arnautovic. Arnautovic papered over so many cracks. And now he's back and he hasn't got him. He's showing him up for the manager that he really is.
Yeah, he got lucky, played him as a striker. That's the only thing I'll give him a little bit of credit for. You know, he converted him from a winger to a striker. Yeah, he's a quality player.
It's as if Moyes is now thinking the same thing with Antonio. It's as if he's thinking, I work with Arnautovic.
Yeah. If it was going to work with anyone of the players in the squad, I had to pick out, it would be Yarmolenko.
Yeah.
That Yarmolenko hasn't got maybe the pace of Arnie.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking style and that straight up style and wand of a left foot, that's the one I'd be going for up front. If you have to gamble, if you're running out of ideas. Every time he had the ball, he gave it away. Everyone knows we needed a bullshit playmaker. We missed Snodgrass time. I don't see why Jackie's not playing either. It's not like we've got games coming up, we need to keep him fit. The guy fit, sharp for those big games. You know, by using him for 10 to 15 minutes in a Chelsea game and all that. Next plays is West Ham. All players get West Ham Ed. I don't know what that means. No, he was my only hope.
That's Snodgrass.
Looks like it's down for the Hammers. Even Zaba has a knock and can't play yet, so it does look like it's going to be Fredericks, which will probably, like you say, mate, be the targeted area. This is too good for us. That goes without saying, Barbara. We're 100% going down. That should be sting up for the fans. Fans ain't there to get on their back, Barbara.
That's exactly it. And that's, do you know, in both of our games since the restart, the commentators have mentioned it. In both the games, that because the fans ain't there, it's allowed Moyes to play this negative football. It's allowed us to just drop and drop and drop and deep and not attack. Because if the fans were in the stadium, they'd be screaming at the players, get forward, do something, show some effort. Yeah. But there's no pressure, so they can get away with it. This is dreamland for David Moyes. He can play as negative as he wants. And again, you know, the likes of Felipe Anderson can just come on, stroll around because he ain't got thousands of fans screaming at him. There's no pressure to do anything. You
know, at the minute they're hiding away from the protest because obviously the protest can't go on. The timing for David Golding-Sullivan was perfect. We were so excited to have all our players back so we can play players in their optimal positions. We still then get mysterious injuries and rampaging square-ups. That's fine, mate. I'll carry on. Yeah, so you know, it's just there's so much going on. There really is so much going on, guys. In terms of we have been here before, though. I just have a glimmer. We will put something together, unlikely from somewhere. Barbara says Harry Redknapp. Dinosaur, no.
Again, if it's just to come in for the last 7 games, I mean, no, I don't want Harry Redknapp as our manager. He's been out of the game. I don't see what the point would be of bringing him in. But again, he wouldn't be any worse than David Moyes. So,
Vernon makes a good point here. Thing is, Nolan is already there. Are we assuming he's doing nothing, or Moyes and the players are totally ignoring him because he is not having any effect?
Don't know. I mean, it depends what his role is, doesn't it? It depends what his role is at the club. You know, at the moment, it seems like all he's doing really is telling Antonio to stand on the keeper at corners. But I think Moyes would ignore him. I think Moyes is the sort of man that he's not going to have anyone tell him what he's doing wrong.
I think Kev was originally just brought in as like a hype man as well. Like just to G him up a bit. And Alan, did Alan Irvine come in the end or not? I don't think he did come in the end. Bring back Harry or Trev. Trev is a 75-year-old man now.
He wouldn't do it anyway. Yeah, there's no way Trev wouldn't do it anyway.
We see it. You said it at the time, mate. The protest last year when the coins were getting thrown and all that. Trevor's face summed it up. He really did. There's a video of Trevor booking. It's like, what's happened to my club? And I think you'll feel what Trevor's pain. You know what I mean? Lee says, Sorry. I think we're going down. You guys think, mate? Literally been saying it for the whole show. I can't see it. Late boys, I want to see Lanzini and Anderson play for West Ham.
I think that's harsh on Lanzini because at least when he has come on, he looks like he's been trying. But yeah, Anderson, again, said this at the start of the show for anyone who missed it. In my opinion, I think Anderson knows he's gone in the summer anyway. I don't think he cares. And yeah, 100%. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him in the shirt.
Wilshere will probably get injured training. Him while we have a chance. Try and use him while we have a chance. So players can see it is not working. Normally they do their own thing because they use noise to drown out the manager, but he screams at them if they don't do what he wants.
Do you know what? It's funny. I can't remember what game it was. I can't remember if it was our game or if it was another game, but that's something that actually got mentioned on the commentary as well, that the players normally can sort of pretend they didn't hear the manager. They can pretend they didn't hear his instructions, but they can't do that now. So yeah, it's quite interesting. What do you make of? I don't know how much of the coverage you see last night. What do you make of Bobby Zamora as a pundit?
I love Bobby, mate. I love Bobby. You can see he's got West Ham affiliation as well.
You could tell he was absolutely gutted after the game.
Yeah. It was quite nice to. Again, I don't know where I stand with Jamie Redknapp. Sometimes he comes across like he supports West Ham, and then sometimes he comes across like he hates us.
I think he's a twat.
Yeah,
he is. And you know, I don't know. Like you say, mate. It's hard to know where he stands, but for me, more often than not, he loves digging in. He loves having a poke. He loves having a dig. And no, I don't like Jamie Redknapp.
So looking ahead a little bit, mate, because next podcast will probably be after the Chelsea game. I won't go into the detail as much because I'll do that on the weekend when I do my little preview. But any chance of beating them, mate? You know, this is a team full of confidence at the minute. Win some fantastic new players for next season. A good result for us helped us out against Aston Villa the weekend with Pulisic, Giroud, and people like that. Any hope in that game, mate, at all?
No, mate. I mean, if you'd have asked me on a normal season in different circumstances, 100%, I'd be sitting here saying, yeah, definitely, we can get something from these. We can go out and we can get something. No.
Yeah, and it's unlike you, mate, to talk like that. Like you're usually very optimist. We can get out of it. I think that sums it up. We're one of the most optimistic people I know. Is sitting there saying, I can't see a way out of it at all.
It's because nothing. They've shown nothing different. Nothing. They've not shown anything that says to me, yeah, okay, we can turn this around. I think we're 100%, mate. I think we're a sinking ship. I think we're gone. Like I say, the only way I can see us staying up is if the three teams below us pretty much lose every game.
Exactly what Jones just said there.
Yeah.
We've got to hope that there's three worse teams than us this season. Gary says, what can Moyes say to the squad to pick them up for the next game other than nothing's over? I'm leaving, guys. Kev's taking over.
And I genuinely think I don't think the fans, I don't think the players back him at all. I think, again, if the fans are sitting here saying how useless he is, the players are going to be saying the same thing as well.
Well, people have come out and the people at the top have come out and deemed him not good enough 2 years ago or whatever it was. So how can you expect players to go, oh, yeah, do you know what? No, actually, he's good enough. We'll discuss that a little bit more in a minute. Do you think Moyes is arrogant enough to think they're going to beat the so-called Leicester? Yeah, I do. I genuinely believe he thinks he's a good manager as well. No, you only have to look at that press conference. I win games. That's what I do. About Paolo Di Canio as manager. Listen, we've discussed this so many times. Paolo is Paolo. Has a role at a club for me if it was up to me. As a manager, no,
I don't think he'll work. I don't think in the modern game, I don't think someone like Paolo would work as a manager. I think the players are too precious these days. Can't really tell them anything. I don't think he'd work as a manager. But yeah, as Luke says there, 100%, I would love to see him back at the club in some capacity.
Yeah. Only hope is they have extra game versus City before they play us. Yeah, they've got a couple of games. They play City tomorrow, Chelsea. They've got the FA Cup on a Saturday. So, they've got 3 games before they play us. So, yeah. Surely the board can't want us to go down. We're finished if we go down, and they won't sell it 50 quid. They don't want us to go down. They would take 17th every year because it means they won't have to spend any money and they get the Premier League money every year. Before we talk about what's particularly wrong with the club, because we'll talk about that for about 15 minutes and we'll wrap it up, I just want to ask you one question, mate. If we go down, which is very likely, what would you want to see in terms of the rebuild? And manager, player-wise, what sort of players do you want to see come in? I don't think anything changes until those boys go anyway, Sullivan and Gold.
I agree,
changes.
Mate. No, I agree. You need what I want to see is the biggest thing, and I've been saying this for so long. I just want to see some invention. I want to see something different. I want to see stop going for the tried, the tested names. Stop going for the Allardyces, the Moyes. Stop going for these type of names.
Even Benitez. I think even even them names. You know what I mean?
Benitez, even the Pellegrini. Go for something new. Try and find a good upcoming manager.
You want someone but not now. I'm talking about when we appointed him originally. Like how fresh and dynamic Pardew was when we first got him. Like, people have got their opinions on what Pardew's career was like at West Ham. When he first came, he was fresh and dynamic. This guy was tipped to be the next England manager at some point when we first had it. That could be Scott Parker. That could be Lee Bowyer. The best manager in the championships is Slaven Bilic.
I mean, I don't. Do you know what? And Slav is the best appointment like that we made in recent times. Just something a bit out there, someone different, someone younger, someone with new ideas. That's what I want to see in the championship. I don't think it's a good idea to throw someone in the Premier League. But like you say, mate, if we go down, that's what I want to see. Get a good upcoming manager, someone who's got fresh ideas. The problem is they're never going to be allowed to build anything under these owners.
That is the problem, mate.
That's the problem.
Something I read today, this will lead quite nicely in actually. So Leicester have agreed to sign William Carvalho for 14 million. He's only 28 as well now. So remember, Slav was looking at him. He was 24. 30 million, I think we could have got him for at the time, or 40 million. What does that say? You know what I mean? What does that say? That, Leicester, one of the most up-and-coming teams, signing him now for that money.
I don't know, mate.
How much blame do you have on Slav? I know we're aggressive here a bit, but Slav, how much of is his fault for what happened? Or
Slav's obviously a good manager. He's proven it in the championship. He's obviously a good manager. We all loved Bilic. He got West Ham. He loved the club, and you could tell he really wanted to do well for the club. But he was undermined by the owners. He was undermined by the owners. I don't think he was backed like he thought he was going to be.
I don't think any manager could have dealt with a Dimitri Payet situation at a club of our level.
And again, how much of that is even down to Bilic in the first place? If you're the Dimitri Payet and you've been promised, oh yeah, we're going to sign Lacazette, we're going to sign whoever, all these players to come in and build a team around you, and then that doesn't happen. What's that undermines the manager as well, because then the players are looking at that thinking, well, what sway does this manager even have? And yeah, he was massively undermined, and we've again, since Slaven Bilic left, we've gone backwards.
Since we left Upton Park, it's gone backwards.
Yeah, exactly. We've gone backwards.
At least struggling at Upton Park, we still had fan base, a community, should I say? That's a better word to use. Now, what are we? When we go down now, what are we? What are we now? We're not the club we were anymore. And that's not me saying we were a big club. It's family side of it, community, West Ham. West Ham being West Ham. Who is to blame, mate? I think it's a really obvious answer, but like,
Of course it is. I mean, it's obvious. It's the owners are to blame, and as you said, and as so many people have said, I want to say two things here. So obviously the owners are to blame. Nothing is really going to change until they're gone. Nothing will really change until they're gone. But at the same time, I keep seeing so many people saying you can't blame David Moyes. You have to blame the owners. No, you can blame both. They're not completely one or the other. You know, yes, the board are not giving anyone the tools. The board have been shocking. They've stripped the eye out of the club. They're ruining the club. But at the same time, David Moyes is a terrible manager. You know, they're not mutually exclusive. And we're just in an absolute state right now, an absolute state. We probably do need to go down and rebuild, but I just don't trust it to happen under the owners. I don't,
mate. I don't at all. I think you'd get all the spin stories. We've got no money, or we've had to sell players for an undercut. Like Declan Rice will be heartbreaking because he'll probably go for about 40 instead of 80. If that, mate, if that. You know, Owen, we've bought a really good, promising player there. That's one credit I will give Moyes. Could go for 25 million. We go there,
mate. Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure the reason it took so long for him to sign was because he was putting a relegate. He wanted a relegation clause in his contract.
25 million.
So there you go. He's gone. Souček obviously won't stay. That's saying again. Do you know what? I've been real harsh on David Moyes this whole show, and I want to see him sacked. I don't dislike David Moyes. I really don't. I don't dislike him. I actually think he's probably quite a decent bloke. I don't
dislike the man. I don't dislike the man at all.
And I actually think he probably would make a good director of football. You know, like you say, the likes of Bowen, Souček. That I think he would actually do a decent job as a director of football.
Real high-level scout director.
Yeah, especially at a championship level. I think he'd do really well. But he's a shocking manager. Shocking.
If we go down, you think it will be all riots out against the board? I think they're thanking their lucky stars, mate, that no fans will be there for that Aston Villa game if we do go down that game, because that would have just been ridiculous. And when fans are let back in, let's say after Christmas, for example, if we are not in them playoff spots, if we go down, I'm saying, it could be toxic. It could be absolutely toxic in there.
I think the biggest danger with the fans being away for so long, and if we do drop, it's the apathy can set in. You know, that's the biggest danger. So you could get to Christmas and the fans are allowed back in the stadiums, but the danger is it will get to the point where no one cares anymore.
Yeah, but like I say, if we're not in the playoff spots or look really like we can get in the playoff spots early doors, like I say, mate, people will just think, not this year. Then that becomes 2 years, you know. Not going to a football match, and then it becomes a routine. I don't want to go there no more. That's boring. You get the hardcore still, obviously. You always get hardcore, like Lee's a hardcore. Yeah, it's a big danger if we go down massively. Don't even have scouts to find fresh players, so we're going to find. You know, and again, this is all the board's fault for not, you know, trying to run a club with 2 people doing 50 jobs.
Yeah, and that's why you need a director of football, but a good director of football. The whole Husilios who came in, Pellegrini, that happened backwards. The manager's not supposed to pick the director of football. The director of football is supposed to pick the manager. And that's the way.
All Husilios was the scapegoat to take the heat off. He thought take the heat off him, David Sullivan. It was he found Anderson, he found Haller, he found da. We don't write no more. I did that one. If we go down, we can't let them in the ground, even if all stands in front. Slav was too nice. Lacazette and Bacco, we got Zaza and Gantore for Gouli. If we need a double relegation to say goodbye to the owners, then so yeah. Another Sunderland, please. But Slav had to go. He had lost the will to do the job, and it was reflection on the pitch. Which he looked like a grey man towards the end, didn't he?
That's the thing as well. Like, you know, I like I say, since Slav left, we've gone backwards. But at the time, yes, it was time for him to go. Same as we're again talking about, even since Pellegrini left, we've gone backwards at the end. Yeah, it was time for Pellegrini to go. Although I will say, I think if we'd have kept Pellegrini, I 100% believe we would have more points than we've got now.
I think with this season, the biggest point, and I say it every week, is if Fabianski wouldn't have got injured, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't. I'm not saying you would all of a sudden get these worldly performances or these, with a top 6 team or even a top 8 team. I don't think it would be anywhere near the bottom if you had Roberto in goal. Sorry, Fab in goal. The games that Roberto played. Showed it, didn't it, when Martin played against Chelsea? The rare result we did get this year. Finish off these comments and that'll do for tonight, I think. By the time we sell all the top players for a loss, Beck's money will make up the difference. So we are in trouble. It's by far the worst West Ham team I've seen in 41 years of supporting. Wow.
No, I don't agree with that. See, it's probably the worst state the club's been in, but I don't think it's the worst West Ham side. A lot of the players are not playing, a lot of the players are switched off, but there's no way you can say that these players are bad players. You can't. The likes of the players, again, going back to Avram's season, Avram had far worse players than David Moyes has got now. You can't tell me, don't get me wrong, and again, I've already said I don't want to see Felipe Anderson in a West Ham shirt again because he's clearly doesn't want to be here. But you can't tell me he's a bad player. You can't tell me Sebastian Haller is a bad player. You can't tell me Yarmolenko is a bad player. These are all internationals. Souček, he's not a bad player. Fornals, he's not a bad player. You can't tell me these individually are bad players. They're not. They're
just not playing to the standard they can.
No, it's an unbalanced team, but we do not have a manager that is setting up a system to get the most out of them. We don't have a manager who can motivate them. That's his job. It's his job to get these players playing, and he can't do it. I don't agree that they're not. We do not have a bad team. We've got an unbalanced team, but we do not have a bad team.
I don't care anymore. I do either. Wouldn't be so bad if we were crap. Tried. Really feel sorry for the younger fans. You will never know what the family atmosphere was like, say, in the 80s. You could meet the players. Listen, it was like that in the early 90s, 90s, sort of early 2000s, that sort of the Canio, Joe Cole, Frank Lampard. You could go down to the training ground, meet the players. That's gone. That's gone. Them days are gone. Peter goes on to agree with you actually there, mate, and said about the attitudes of the players. He says that Anderson's was shocking. Is there anything else, mate, you want to talk about? It's been a really depressing show, guys, and I think you're going to have a lot of this for the next 6 weeks or however long's left.
I mean, what can you say, mate? What can you say? I can't. Listen, let's hope that we're all wrong. Let's hope we turn up against Chelsea. All of a sudden, he plays the right team. Everything clicks, and we win 4-0. Let's hope that happens. But if we carry on as we are now, I just can't see it, mate. Can't see it.
It's really sad. I don't want to end like that, but I just can't see any way.
It's the worst. Like a lot of people I've seen have used the term sleepwalking to relegation, and that's what it feels like. Obviously the times we've been relegated before, it at least felt like we were fighting.
Someone made a really good point. Post-match pint, I watched it on the train this morning. Said maybe, and they was looking for glimmer of hope and stuff. If we go into that some free, maybe spark something.
The problem is, and again, talking about the attitude of the players, and like I say, we know most of the half of the players probably know they're not going to be here next season anyway. Why would they care? If we drop into the bottom 3, realistically, apart from Noble, apart from Rice, and honestly, I'm struggling. Why would any of the other players care? Antonio, maybe. I don't know. That's what I mean. It feels like we've got no fight in his team, and that's another reason why I can't see us getting out of it. That's at least in previous years, we've been fighting. You know, we've been fighting to stay alive.
But, you know, our biggest attacking threat is a central defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Rice. You know what I mean? Like played the best ball yesterday, had probably the most, you know, the bit where you text me and said about his feet and stuff like that. It says a lot, mate. Your central defensive midfielder is your most attacking threat.
Yeah.
You actually get excited when he's on the ball, like, oh, nothing can happen here.
You know, when you're playing a man up front who's got worse technique than me, you know, he's a right back winger, and you're playing him up front on his own. I don't know. What do you expect? What do you expect? But again, yes, you can blame the players that we've brought in. And again, we've spoke about this already on this show. For Christ's sake, play Ajeti. At least see what he can do. At least have an actual play Xande Silva. At least have an actual striker up front. I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Someone made a good point about Lucas Perez. You know, although he wasn't technically amazing on the ball, came on and scored goals.
Perez was a good player, mate. And he showed it. You know, he's left and he's doing really well now in Spain.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't have sold him for what? We got 2 million for him.
Yeah, nuts.
2 million. We shouldn't have sold him. It was criminal selling Chicharito after the window closed. But then, like I say, we've got strikers at the club. Use them. If Ajeti is really that bad, why is he even in the squad?
So what's the point of him even being on the bus?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I think we'll end it there.
Yeah, good, nice, positive show for you guys.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys. We're sorry. Listen, maybe we've jinxed it. You know, did that last year at Upton Park, and then it's just nothing since then. It's nothing. This channel's not had any positivity since then. From about five or six games that stick out. We will be back, guys, next week. We'll probably be reviewing another loss to Chelsea and building up to the Newcastle game, which is going to be another really hard game. Mate, thanks for joining in. Sorry, guys, we're not giving you good news. Sorry, we're not giving you positivity. But, you know, we've got to speak the truth. That's what we're here for. Thanks for everyone who's joined in the comments. Like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until then, guys, come on, you irons. Keep believing if you can. Let's go.